guys, how you all doing? So today I thought it would be really good to talk to you all about my heart operation experience. Now, might be quite a long video, so bear with me. So I had my operation in 2016, and I think I was 16 years old. Yeah, I was quite nervous about it, to be honest, because the last operation I had was when I was a baby. So this was the first time I had one where I didn't have a clue what was going on. Um, I didn't know what to expect. I knew I'd be feeling really grotty, and that was the bit I was probably the most worried about. Now, you have to bear with me because it was 7 years ago since I had it last done. So I got to go all the way back to then to try and remember everything that happened. Now, I remember I had a phone call one day, and they asked me whether I wanted to have it done on the 6th of September. Now, that was my 16th birthday, and I thought that will not do. I'm not having an operation on my birthday. So we decided to have it done a week later. Now, the reason I felt like I needed an operation was because when I was playing table tennis, I was finding it very hard to do exercise for a long period of time. I was getting out of breath, I was getting worked up, and also my lips started to go blue, and that's the first time where I know I'm ill and I need to have something done. So I told my mum, and I had an MRI scan quite a while ago and all that, and yeah, it came back as I needed another operation. So the morning of my operation, I got in the car, drove all the way to Birmingham Children's Hospital. Now, I remember sitting in this ward, and I got all gowned up and I was on my phone just waiting. I can't really remember what time I went in, to be honest with you. But yeah, so I remember being gowned up, feeling really nervous, and I had a doctor, the person that did my operation, come in, the surgeon, and she seemed lovely. We had a nice chat, and she asked me if there was what kind of valve I was. My operation, I had to have a valve put in, and I had an option of a cow valve, a pig's valve, and a human valve, and they said they'd rather save a human valve for other people who have a religious views on it. So I said, okay, just go with a valve that works. And she said, right, got you. So I ended up having a cow valve put in me. So it's a pulmonary valve. I always find that word really, really hard to say. So I had that put in. And I think my operation was 9 hours long. So bless my mother for sitting in the hospital for 9 hours, waiting and wondering what the hell's going on. And I remember, this is very, very clear to me. I remember waking up, and I kept thinking, where the hell am I? And I looked over and I saw my mum, and I thought, oh, it's lovely. And I remember having this tube down my throat, and I was really thirsty. And I remember I was trying to move I remember it like it was yesterday. It's really bizarre. But I remember trying to lift my arm to do a drinking action because I couldn't talk, and I couldn't do it. But eventually I managed to do it, and they were like, we can't really have it yet, but as you're really thirsty, we'll let you. So I had a drink, that was fine. And a few hours later, I remember my mum ringing everybody, telling everyone I'm okay. I spoke to some people on the phone. The first thing I did was I looked down at my feet, because my feet were a blue colour before. And I remember looking down, and it was like, oh my God, they actually look normal. Not normal, but they look, pink, not blue. And that was a really, really lovely feeling. And I was in hospital for a week. I should have been there a bit longer, but I wasn't sleeping there, and I just felt like I just wanted to go home. I didn't have fresh air for a whole week. It sounded disgusting, but I couldn't shower because they tried on this new purple like dressing over my scar to like make it heal quicker, so I couldn't get that wet. So I just felt horrible and disgusting, and I just wanted to wash my hair and feel refreshed. But that week felt like a month, honestly. And I remember I was lying, I was 16, I was in the children's ward. It was the day after my operation. I remember lying there and they had a children's birthday party. And I thought, oh, okay, fair enough. A child, it's their birthday and they're trying to celebrate it, and it was all fine. It was all lovely. And then I remember seeing parents arguing to the nurses. There's a big argument that broke out, and I said to them, well, I really want to just move into a quieter ward. I'm trying to recover and rest, and it's... So my mum spoke to the nurse, and thankfully they managed to get me out of there and just go into a quiet room where I can sleep. And I remember looking down and seeing wires all inside, and I was like, oh, when are they going to get removed? It's, you know, it's just uncomfortable. And I had this big tube thing next to me, and then I remember, I think it was the next day, that the nurse asked me if I wanted the laptop, because obviously I was obsessed with social media and all that. You know, we love our Facebook when we were younger. So but I actually said no, because I just really wasn't feeling it. I didn't want a big heavy laptop on me, so I just went on my phone, as it was a lot easier. And it was so heartwarming seeing all these messages from people wishing me luck and sending me best wishes, and it was lovely. And I spoke to a few of my friends as well, so that was really nice. Yeah, so I remember after a couple of days of trying to recover, they asked me about schooling and if I wanted to have a tutor come in, and I was like, do I just want to sleep. And my mum said, you should really do it. I was like, okay. So I did it, and I did science, and I only did about half an hour because I got really tired and I just wanted to sleep. But yeah, I'm glad I did it in a way, because it refreshed my memory for when I went back. So after a week, I said to Mum, I really want to go home now. I got really fed up, and I just wanted to sleep and be in my own bed and in my own comforts. So we had a chat with the nurse, and I was like, I just want to get back. And they were like, let's see what the surgeon says and see how she thinks you're doing. And so I waiting. They came back, and good news, I was able to come home. The first thing I did was firstly though, that was the best feeling in the world, was getting fresh air. Like I said, no fresh air for a week. Oh my days. It was so nice just to get some air on you. But when I got back home, I just washed my hair. I had some help, and I was able to wash my hair, and it was such a nice feeling. And then I got in my bed, and I remember I said to my family, I said, am I allowed to ring you in my bed so I don't have to shout if I want anything? And they were like, yeah, that's fine. So I had the pleasure of doing that for a while. And then it got to about 4 weeks, and I remember being so bored, and I was like, I never thought I'd say this, but I want to go back to school. So I went in, and I had the most loveliest welcome. I was in year 11 at the time, and I had a really nice warm reception, and I had girls walking around, making sure I didn't get bumped or knocked on the heart. And then my first lesson was drama, so that was lovely. I think I just went in for one lesson and came home. And then it slowly built up, and I'd go in for a bit longer until I got back to normal. And it was just lovely. It felt like I'd not been there for months. And it was just nice seeing some familiar faces. I also remember, but when I got back, I had so many get well soon cards, and it just melted my heart. It was so lovely to see. And yeah, that was. Oh, another thing I remember is hello, how are you? And my doggy down there. Hello, Charlie. So cute. Another thing I remember is my nan and my brother came to visit me in the hospital as well. Now, this is a few things have happened here. Firstly, they put me on a different bed, and they put me on the different bed backwards. Don't ask how that happened. I don't know. So they had to somehow manage to get like a slide sheet or something and spin me around so I'm facing the other way. And then my okay, so it's been a few weeks now since the operation, and I remember feeling quite self-conscious actually. I did before my operation, but now that the scar was bigger, I did feel more self-conscious. And I remember thinking I have to wear tops that are really high neck so I don't want anyone seeing my scar. And that went on for quite a long time. And then it took me, I think I must have been about 19, 20, and we went to Lanzarote, and that was the first time I wore a bikini. All the other times I wore a swimming costume to cover it. It's the first time I wore a bikini and felt confident. I felt just happy in my skin. Like I felt like a woman, and that was a lovely feeling. Now, all you men or women out there feel like you can't show your scar because you're worried, or you just don't want to show a certain part of your skin. Stuff what everyone else thinks. You do you. You do you because you are beautiful the way you are, and your scars show you how strong you are and how much you coped. And it tells what I love about my scar is it's a talking point. I always have people come up to me saying, "How have you got your scar?" And it's always like a talking point, and it tells a story, and I love that. I love that about it. So just flaunt it. Honestly, I also think if I had a doctor come to me and say, "So I'd like to would you like me to get rid of your scar and make it invisible?" I would say no, because it would be weird not me having it. It took me a long time to think like that, but when I was a teenager I'd probably say yes. But now I think about it, I think no, I want to keep it. It makes me, it makes me unique, and that's what makes me Zoe. That's what people know me as. And it took me a very long time to think like that. But I'm so glad I've gotten to this point now where I can wear a bikini and not be self-conscious in it. And it's a lovely feeling. So, and the fact that I've got a boyfriend who loves me for me as well makes life it makes it a lot easier as well. But so yeah, that is my advice to anybody that's feeling low about themselves or feeling self-conscious about their body. My one bit of advice is you're going to be stuck with yourself for a very, very, very long time. So you've got to learn to be your own best friend, love yourself, and be confident in yourself and feel beautiful. Don't let anybody else put you down. It's who you are, and you will feel a lot happier within your skin if you feel like that. Trust me. So yeah, that's what I think. And also, I remember I was in the shower room once, going swimming. I think it was about a year after, so my scar was still quite fresh and it was still, there. And I had some girls come up to me and well, they were giggling to themselves and looking at me, and I know they were talking about me, so you could hear them. I just said, "Have you got a problem?" And I said, if you want to ask me something, just ask me. And they asked me, you know, why I've got the scar. I was very polite. I just explained why I had it. But I just said to them, next time, please ask me rather than giggling and pointing. You know, it is quite rude. And they apologised and they said, oh, I'm sorry, we think you're very brave. And then they walked off. So, yeah, that's the only incident I really had with it. And apart since then, nobody else has said anything. So, I hope you enjoyed my little story time. And it was quite nice just to get it all out and tell you all what's been going on. And I'm doing very well. They said to me before I had the operation, if it's a good valve, it would last up to 10 to 15 years. If it's a bad valve, it will last 5 to 10. Now, it's been 7 years, so touch wood, it's doing well, and I'm coping really well with work. I'm coping well with ping pong, so it's all going really, really good. I feel fine. I feel healthy. I've also completely stopped drinking fizzy drinks. Now, I will explain briefly. I realised when I was in Iceland that I was drinking a lot of fizzy drinks and a lot of Pepsi. And no judgment to anybody that does. You know, it's your life. But for me, I felt really unhealthy and I just wanted to stop. So I've made a bet with myself and said, all right, I'm not going to drink for a year. So I've decided I'm not going to drink fizzy drinks for a whole year. And I've nearly done a month now, so I'm not doing too bad. And I'm feeling really, really good. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you all very soon. Bye-bye.